Ireland is absolutely not ready in any shape or form to properly secure the EU summits that are coming down the tracks over the next 6 months.
As Ireland takes the reins of the EU presidency, there are stark warnings.
Do you think there will be a cyber attack on Ireland's presidency?
Yes, it's inevitable.
A country with one of the lowest defence spends in Europe now has to protect hundreds of VIP events.
We're playing catch-up when it comes to drone technology and how to counter drones.
Ireland will need outside help.
The United Kingdom is very clear. We stand with our friends and we will look after our friends.
But the question remains, can Ireland defend the EU presidency? Just over 6 months ago, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was in Dublin. But out in Dublin Bay, something sinister happened. A number of drones, reportedly large military-grade ones, appeared near the flight path of Zelensky's airplane. He had landed ahead of schedule, but they buzzed an Irish naval ship out in the bay.
The only reason we know that there was about 5 drones in the Irish Sea that night is because they were detected with the naked eye from the deck of one of our naval ships. There's no sensors, there's no technical information to prove it.
The incident remains shrouded in mystery. The Irish government won't even confirm to us if video was captured, but Brussels has blamed Russia. The embarrassing incident shone a light on Ireland's chronically under-resourced defences, and now it assumes the EU presidency with many VIP visitors and summits. This is what happened in Copenhagen when Denmark held the rotating presidency. Drones causing havoc at the airport. Defence insiders point out that Danes are far more equipped than the Irish to deal with this.
There's disillusionment in the defence community, and unfortunately the next 6 months all these chickens could come home to roost from Ireland's point of view, and hopefully won't happen, but it's likely there will be some kind of intervention or interference, and unfortunately Ireland may be found wanting it.
Why? Well, just look at what Ireland spends on defence compared to its EU neighbours. The last Eurostat figures show Latvia, bordering Russia, leading the way at 3.1% of its GDP. Now look where wealthy Ireland is, rock bottom at just 0.2%. Despite a record budget for this year, Ireland remains at the bottom of the class and has done for years.
Nobody doubts the professionalism of the soldiers of the Irish military. They have a really good reputation internationally, but decades of chronic underinvestment by successive Irish governments have left them ill-equipped to defend Ireland from external threats, both conventional and hybrid.
When you move this around, it'll follow around, it'll give a bearing.
For an island nation, Ireland's naval capability is stretched to say the least. Ireland's area of maritime responsibility is vast, but its naval service is not. There are 8 ships like this in the fleet. At any one time, there could be maybe 2 ships out at sea patrolling. Just look at the area they have to cover. It's one of the largest maritime territories in the EU, 10 times the size of Ireland itself, around 880,000 square kilometres of ocean. If there are just 2 ships, each would have to cover an area nearly twice the size of the UK. And Irish waters are home to many of Europe's crucial undersea cables.
So this is a general purpose machine gun. We've 2 of these on board.
After years of government underinvestment, the Irish ships don't have specialised anti-drone weaponry or tracking systems. The sailors, through no fault of their own, could face 21st century threats with 20th century defences.
We're playing catch up when it comes to drone technology and how to counter drones. We do have the ability to engage a drone if it were to approach us and it became a threat. But we are working to develop better systems to counter drone activity.
It raises the real prospect of the Royal Navy being asked to assist with providing offshore cover.
What I am saying is that we're actively engaged on whether or not we would need additional support from whether it's the UK, France or any other country.
But has any request been made to, say, the British government or the French government or to their militaries general? Has any contact been made to start that ball rolling?
What we're doing at the moment is exploring what we may or may not need, how that may or may not develop.
In the air, Ireland lacks primary radar or fighter jets, meaning not only can it not intercept rogue aircraft, it won't even know they're there. A secret defence agreement with the RAF is believed to exist, but this is what happened the last time we asked the Taoiseach about it.
Are you denying then that there is an arrangement with the British government?
I believe that story is not accurate.
But can you tell us at least in what way it's inaccurate?
Well, I mean, I'm saying it's inaccurate in terms of interdiction.
So who does interdict a Tupolev bomber off the coast?
Look, I've said what I've said. I'm not going into national security any further than that.
Why not let the public know? Why not have a frank and honest debate with the public?
These are not issues that you publicly sort of identify every aspect of your national security strategy in public. It doesn't make sense. Period. It just doesn't make sense.
So it looks like neighbours, including the UK, will be asked to step in at a time when painful choices in British defence spending are being made.
That light switch on the wall is going to have a bad day.
At a weapons factory in Belfast, we asked a British Defence Minister an obvious question.
What's in it for Britain?
The United Kingdom is very clear. We stand with our friends and we will look after our friends because our security is their security and vice versa as well. But there's opportunities here. If you look at the undersea cables, for instance, that keep businesses in Ireland being able to function as part of a global economy, whether they're in the Republic or in Northern Ireland, protecting those cables from Russian interference or potential threats in the future, well, that is a shared endeavour.
The Irish, without any subsea surveillance capability, are aware how vulnerable the undersea cables are.
A merchant vessel may accidentally, and I put that in inverted commas, drag its anchor over a gas pipeline, etc. And that is a deniable action, I suppose, on behalf of the merchant vessel, but obviously will cause massive damage to a nation's critical energy infrastructure.
But most agree that if a foreign actor does disrupt the presidency, it'll probably be in the cyber theatre.
This unassuming 1970s office block houses the National Cyber Security Centre, about 100 self-proclaimed computer nerds on the front line of defending Ireland from cyber threats. Now, it's so secretive that we can't actually film inside the building, but we can speak to the man in charge. Do you think there will be a cyber attack on Ireland's presidency?
Yes, it's inevitable because there are attacks all the time. We see espionage on a fairly regular basis. We see other kinds of hybrid type of attacks very regularly. So we expect it to happen. The key question is, will the mitigations the state has in place manage those incidents properly? And so far, we think we're in a fairly good position. So that could be hacktivism, it could be denial of service, it could be website defacement, it could be a social media campaign, it could be espionage and leaking of information, it could be, at the very outside and low probability, attempts to disrupt infrastructure, a presidency website, an airport, or whatever it might be.
There are no prizes for guessing from where most think the threat emanates.
We have seen significant hacktivist activity here, much of which has come from Russia itself. But there are other actors as well. There might well be criminal actors who seek to gain money or leverage on the basis of that people are particularly sensitive around the presidency. There might be other actors involved. So it's impossible to tell specifically. But yes, it's entirely possible we'll see Russian actors here.
All the indicators, all the pointers, all the metrics point towards Russian interference. And it's not just targeting Ireland. It's a very clear message to the European Union that, listen, don't be sending all your surface-to-air missiles or your air defence radar to Ukraine. You're going to need some of that to look after your home jurisdictions as well.
Russia rejects all of this, of course. Its Dublin embassy told us that Russia has never threatened Ireland and its people. To suggest otherwise is nothing but unworthy speculation, it said, used to justify the militarisation of the EU and its Russophobic policies. There's even a threat from tractors. Protests against fuel prices paralysed parts of the country in April, and organisers are considering further action during the presidency when major traffic disruption is already expected.
The Irish government insists it's well prepared. There is some irritation, in fact, at the focus on security concerns when holding the presidency is seen as a huge positive for this staunchly pro-EU country. But nothing we've shown you is a secret. Russia is well aware that Ireland is Europe's security weak spot, and with the experts we've spoken to warning some form of attack is inevitable, it could be a case of when, not if, Ireland's preparations will be put to the test.